Hello everyone, I am Tapan Hajra from IIT Guwahati. So let's continue our previous discussion. So we were discussing continuity. So what is continuity? In the previous video I discussed what is limit. So continuity is nothing but, for example, I am considering a graph. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. For example, I am drawing a graph like this. For example, it goes like this, then it suddenly falls, then it starts here. So just look here, this point. So what happens? Just see, the graph is break at x is equal to, for example, I am considering this is x is equal to a. So here I am seeing that the graph has a break. I mean, the graph is discontinuous. The graph is discontinuous at point x is equal to a. Above that, after x is equal to a, graph is continuous. Graph is continuous, and before x is equal to a, x less than a, graph is also continuous. But graph has a discontinuity at x is equal to a. So how can I represent this? Limit. So I defined f of x is equal to limit x tends to a. In the previous video I discussed how to find limit. So this is f of x. So f of x. So graph had a break here. This was x-axis. And this was y-axis. So graph had x is equal to, I considered x is equal to a. So this is x is equal to a. So I can write f of x defined. For example, this one is f1x. Here, this one is f1x. This one is considering this one as a f2x. This graph is x1x. This one is f2x. So f of x I will write f1x if x is less than a. If x is less than a, I mean this region is x less than a. If x is less than a, then this is f1x. If x is greater than a, this region is x greater than f2x. So I will write f2x, x greater than a. Then what about x is equal to a? What about x is equal to a? Here I represented that f of x is defined as, if x is less than a, then it is f1x. If x is greater than a, then f2 is f of x is f2x. So at x is equal to a, what happens? If I solve this limit, limit x less than a minus f of x. So what is a minus? So a minus is nothing but previous. We are approaching a minus. A means x minus a minus means we are approaching. I mean we are approaching from this side. This graph has a break here. Okay. So we are approaching from here. It means x a minus. Okay. If we approach from this side, I mean I am approaching x is equal. This is x equal to a. Okay. So this is x equal to a. So I am approaching from the left side. From the left side means a minus. From right side means a plus. So here I am approaching. A minus means I am approaching from the left side. So this will be, I will rewrite this as this. So next is limit. If I approach from the right side, I will write x a plus f of x. F of x. Then I will write this is what this is. If I approach from right side, I will find f of f2x. So this is f2x. If I approach from left side, we have f1x. So f1x. f1x, and I will put x equal to a, because I am already here. If I approach from left to right, I approach from left to right, then I will reach here. I will approach from this, so I will go, then I will reach here. Then if I approach from the right side, I will go, then I will approach here. So I found that this is f1. Instead of a, I will write a. Here I will also replace x by a. So this is f2a and this is f1a. And here I can see that this point and this point, these 2 points are different. Here 2 points, this point and this point are different. So I can write that f1a is not equal to f2a. H 2 points are different, they are not same. Then I can write f1a is not equal to f2a. What does it mean? If f1a is not equal to f2a, then this limit and this limit are not same. This limit and this limit will not be same. Then I will simply write that limit x tends to a minus f of x is not equal to limit x tends to a plus f of x. So this limit does not exist. If this limit exists, then this curve will be called, or this function f of x will be called as continuous if this limit does not equal. Here we have seen that what we have seen, that f1x is not equal to f2x. That means the limit does not exist. But if there is if for example here is a continuity, then what we would see that if these two limits, I mean f1a would be f2a if two curves are continuous. Okay, so this was all about continuity. Let's discuss about differentiation. So limit and continuity is finished. Let's discuss about differentiation. So differentiation means, from this definition, differentiate. What does it mean? The differentiate means, for example, I have a box. This is a box. How many way I can divide? How many parts I can divide this box? I can divide by this one by 2, or if I divide it is 4 parts. First one, second one, third one. But still I can also divide. I divide. Then I will also divide. This. So in this way, if I continue division, if I continue this division, then the size of the box. For example, I am considering the size of this box. So size of a particular box will be decreases, will be point like structure. In the end I will find a point. So for example, there is a wire. So I can divide this wire. Infinite times. Then I will find a small length. For example, the length of the total wire is this. The total length is L, and I divide infinite times. If I divide this line infinite times, then I will find a length. Finally, I will find a length of the infinite small element, whose length is dx, and this dx will be tends to 0. For example, I divide the total length is L. I divide n times. I divide the length so here I have taken the length of this wire, L, and I divide this wire by n times. Divide n times means I can divide this infinite times. There is no limit. I can not divide. So I can divide it by infinite times. So if n tends to 0, the n tends to infinity. If n tends to infinity means I am dividing this length by infinite times. I can divide this infinite times. Then I will find dx. What dx is what? So dx is tends to 0, very small, when n tends to infinity. So then let's define how the derivative is defined. So derivative is defined as limit n tends to infinity. From the previous example, I took the n tends to infinity, L by n. So, or in a mathematical way, I can find, for example, I will write a del x. I write the small element. I divide this infinite times. Then took the length of the. I took the length of the small infinite small element of this wire, that is del x. And when I divide this wire infinite times, then this del x, the size of the element, small element will be close to 0. So that is how I have written here. Previously, I discussed how to find the limit. What does mean by limit? So you already know. So I am writing del x tends to 0. Then there will be a small change. There is a function. F is a function. F is equal to f of x. So small change in the function, that means del f, and this is del x. So this is written as dy, this is written as df by dx. So this is written as df by dx. This is written as df by dx. So this is how we define limit. Or more explicitly, I can write the limit dy by dx, df by dx is equal to limit del x tends to 0, then del f by del x. What does it mean? Del f means I can write here I consider what? The x changes to x plus del x. x changes to x plus del x, then it will be f of x plus del x minus f of x, then this will be del x. So what is del f? How can I find del f? So del f is the difference between this when I change x to x plus del x. So this is how derivative is defined. So there are standard formula. Let's discuss about those standard formula that will be useful for our next classes, and that is very much useful in physics. So first formula is for example, I have f of x is equal to x to the power n. X to the power n. N means anything. N is anything. One. It can be 1, 2, 3, anything. So how can I write this one? Or for simplicity, I am considering this one as an integer. So integer, I mean this will be -1 plus 1 plus -2 plus -3 like this. So up to infinity, I can write anything, any integer. So if I take derivative of this, so what will be the result? So this will be df by dx will be n x times n minus 1. So remember, if f of x is x to the power n, then their derivative is n times x power n minus 1. Next, let's discuss next formula. So if f of x is exponential e to the power x, if f of x is e to the power x, then just remember df by dx will be e to the power x. Then if it is instead of e, if there is base a, so if a is present, then I will just simply write a to the power x ln a. So this is how derivative of a to the power x and a to the power x is defined. Then ln x. If our function is ln x, then the derivative will be 1 by x. So this is about ln x. Let's discuss some trigonometric functions. So trigonometric functions, we already know there are 6 trigonometric functions. First one is the sine, second one is the cosine, third one is the tangent, fourth one is the cotangent, and fifth one is the cosec, and sixth one is the sec. So if I find f of x is equal to sin x, then what will be the derivative? Then derivative d by dx will be cos x. Just remember these things. So if instead of sine, if function is function contains x, cos x, then derivative will be what? If function is our cos x, then derivative will be minus sin x. Then if our function is 10x, if our function is 10x, so I can find out what will be the derivative will be sec square x. So derivative of 10x is sec square x. Just remember these things. Let's go to some important properties of a derivative. So first property is df by dx. If there are two functions, for example, I have two functions f of x and g of x. If they are added or subtracted, if they are added and subtracted, then I will write here f of x and g of x are added, they are added or subtracted. Then how can I find their derivative? So here I can find this is equal to differentiation of individuals plus minus derivatives. So if there is a function, two function f of x and g of x, we have to take what will be the derivative of their sum. Then I will just take the derivatives there individually. Then I will add up or subtract whatever is given in between. Let's discuss. This was about addition and subtraction rule. If two functions are multiplied, I have two function f of x and g of x, they are multiplied. If they are multiplied, then I will just write, just remember this formula. First, I will leave f of x, then I will take the derivative of g of x. Then here what I did, I leave f of x, then take derivative g of x. Then I will write the opposite sense. I will leave g of x, then I will take derivative of first, f of x. So this is how the derivative of two functions, if two functions are multiplied, then we can find the derivative of their product. Then if two functions here two functions f of x and g of x are multiplied, if two functions are divided, if two functions are in this form, if two functions are written in this form, then how can I find their derivative? So this is simple. The formula will be, just take g of x, leave g of x, then take derivative of f of x. It will be derivative of then it will be, here will be minus sign instead of plus sign. We used plus sign in case of multiplication. Here I will use negative sign. So first I took derivative of f of x. This was numerator. So first take the derivative of numerator, leave denominator, then do opposite. Leave f of x, leave numerator, then derivative of denominator. Then divide by the numerator square. If there is a numerator here, take the square of that numerator. So this is how derivative of two functions, fractions of two functions are defined. If two functions are in the form of fraction, then we can find their derivatives. Let's discuss some examples. Let's discuss. For example, y is given. Y is our function f. Instead of f, I am writing y. So y is x plus x square. X plus x square. Then how can I find its derivative? So dy by dx. What I said, if there is a sum or subtraction, take derivative of their individual, then add up. So what is the derivative of this one? If I take derivative of this one with respect to x, then its function from the formula I can write this is simply 1. This is simply 1. Just remember, I wrote that x to the power n, derivative of x to the power n is n, x to the power n minus 1. And what is n here? n is 1, here n is 1. So if I put 1 here, so x to the power 1 minus 1 will be 0, then this will give 1. So I just simply write this is 1. Then what will be the derivative of this one? This will be 2x. So this is how we can find the derivative if two functions, I mean here x and x square are different, are two functions and they are added by sum. So this is how I can find derivative. So derivative of y is this 1 plus 2x. Then discuss another example. For example, y is given by e to the power x by x, e to the power x by x. So how can I find derivatives? So dy by dx will be what I said. First leave denominator. First leave denominator and take derivative of numerator. So our denominator is x. Then derivative of e to the power x will be same e to the power x. Then leave this one. Leave the numerator. Numerator is our e to the power x. Then take derivative of denominator. First the derivative of denominator I discussed here. So this is 1. Then divide by take the square of denominator. So what is the square of denominator? Is x square. So our result is x minus 1 by x square e to the power x. So this is our answer. Then for example, here is a function x sin x. So here two functions. This is our x is our f of x and sin x is our g of x. So here I have two functions. F of x I have taken as a x and g of x as a sin x. Then what will be the derivative? Then derivative will be leave first function, I mean f of x, leave f of x, then take derivative of second, I mean derivative of sin x. I discussed it is cos x. Then leave second function, I mean g of x. So g of x is sin x. Then take derivative of the first function. The derivative of first function is 1. So the answer is x cos x plus sin x. So this is how we take derivative, how to find derivative. I have already discussed. Then the last one is the integration. So integration is just opposite of the derivative.